know the drill. Yourself something to drink, join me on this next video. Welcome back to the shop. Got another video here, and I want to ask and try to answer the question, what is the difference between an axe and a hatchet, and are those the only categories? I have always thought that there were three categories of axe tools, but it turns out there's at least four, and some of you may even come up with some other ones. But come on down here on the bench, let's take a look at what we've got here and see if we can't make heads or tails of some of this. So here's some examples of what I have that I think fit all the different categories. Now personally, I've always thought that a hatchet was a one-handed tool and that an axe was a two-handed tool, and that basically this is the ideal category, the ideal example of an axe, and this would be the ideal example of a hatchet, and everything else just kind of matched one of those two categories. But with a little bit of research, I found that there are some other categories. Now, according to Scout Crafter, he says that a hatchet is something that has a hardened pole on it and a hardened bit, and that an axe is anything that has only a hardened bit and the pole is soft. So let's see if those are the only categories, because I did find another source in Popular Mechanics, and I want to look and see what we have here and how we can classify all of these. So in all of my research, I did find out that yes, a hatchet is a cutting tool, a chopping tool that has a hardened bit and a hardened pole. And you can see all of these match that category of a hatchet. It's not so much the size that dictates whether it's a hatchet or not. And then you have these examples of axes, hardened bit, but the pole is not hardened. I'm pretty sure this is not a hardened pole. The third category that I always understood, besides the hatchet and the axes, was the maul. And the maul, of course, was always strictly a splitting tool. But there is a fourth category, and that is a hand axe. So the hand axe is smaller than a regular axe, but does not have a hardened pole. So you've got a hardened bit with a soft pole, but it can be used more as a one-handed tool, but not strictly so. This one here is big enough to be used with two hands. So we have hatchets, hand axes, axes, and mauls. The thing where it gets the waters get a little bit muddy is when you bring these two here together. These both have 2-pound heads. They both have 24-inch handles. But according to our definition, this one over here is a hatchet because the pole is hardened. And this one is a hand axe because the pole is soft. So that's been about the best that I can come up with of the difference between axes and hatchets. Then you also have some odds and ends things, such as this tool here, which of course is a brush axe. And so I don't know if there's some others that you can identify in the axe family. It would be neat to hear from you and see what you've come up with. So I'd love to hear from you. Are there any categories that I've missed? Are there any definitions that you think would be helpful? And are there some other chopping tools that might fit into the family of axes, but that fit some different categories? That's the best that I've been able to find, and I know that there are those who have a lot more expertise than I do on the subject, but I'm enjoying learning about it and would appreciate hearing from you and seeing what kind of thoughts you have on the subject. So thanks so much for joining me on this. Appreciate your time. Have a great day. God bless. Trust to see you and hope to see you on the next video.